link was emailed to you with the Vice Chancellor's message, so it is in your email accounts. So graduates, please update your details. We'd like to know your address, where you live, so that when you win Nobel Prizes and the Order of Ikamangas, we can write to you and congratulate you, but equally locate you in the alumni network of Rhodes University. The university has also produced an exit survey. Graduates, please, you'll get a look at that. And that would please that you ask that you complete that. For the updating forms as well, once you get your parchment, on the door to my right, you will have a letter given to you that has a QR code. You can use that QR code, graduates, to complete and update your details. Please enjoy the day. Enjoy it. It's been a long journey, I am sure, of supporting your children, nieces, nephews, uncles, cousins, brothers, of praying, of e-wallets, of voice notes, of all sorts of things of support. So today is the day, and they've done it. And they've not done it alone, they've done it with your support. So we are happy to have you here. Welcome to Rhodes University, and really we ask that you enjoy today, which has been set aside for you to really celebrate the great work of the many graduates that we are going to see walk across the stage today. I'm going to ask that by the end of the ceremony, at the end of the ceremony, we do not dismiss or leave the hall until the procession has left the venue. So the procession will come in shortly, and once the Chancellor leads the procession out of the hall, and they have left, and we see the graduates remain standing as they are, then only do we leave the hall to go continue the celebrations. Sincere thanks to our choir for the beautiful singing in theming all the graduation ceremonies over 3 days. Thank you so much. Excellent. Siyabonga. Really? Please stand. Please stand.
Gaudiamus By virtue of the authority vested in me, I constitute this a congregation of Rhodes University. Please be seated.
The Chancellor, the Honorable Judge Lex Mpati, the Chairperson of the Rhodes University Council, Judge Gerald Bloom, and other members of our council, President of Convocation, Dr. Michelle Reuters, our Honorary graduate, the University Public Orator, Professor Tom Martin, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation, and Strategic Partnerships, Deans and Deputy Deans, Acting Registrar, Heads of Academic Departments, and Directors of Administrative Divisions, Academic and Support Staff, President and other members of the Student Representative Council, proud families and friends, honored guests, and most importantly, our graduates. Good morning. On behalf of our Chancellor, the University Council, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Sizo Mabizela, and the entire university community, I take great delight in offering a warm welcome to each of you to the third of 6 Autumn 2025 graduation ceremonies. Today is a day of immense pride, joy, and celebration, a moment to acknowledge and honor the achievements and success of our students. We offer our warmest and proudest congratulations to each one of you, our graduates, on your graduation day. We rejoice with you and your beloved ones in your hard-earned and impressive achievements. We salute and celebrate those of you who are the first in your family to earn a university degree. This is undoubtedly a moment of great pride and significance, not only for you, but also for your families, friends, and lecturers who have supported you on this important journey of your life. We extend a special recognition to the local Makhanda graduates, particularly those who have benefited from our university's initiatives aimed at enhancing the quality of learning and teaching in our local public schools and creating access to higher education. We are pleased that 107 graduating local students accessed Rhodes University through this initiative in collaboration with Gadra Metric School. That deserves a round of applause. Their achievements serve as testament to the fact that while talent is abundant and widespread, opportunities are not always equally accessible. However, when given the chance, young people consistently demonstrate their ability to rise to the occasion. A special acknowledgement goes to all current and former members of the SRC who are graduating this year. In the 6 graduation ceremonies, 21 of the student leaders will be graduating. 9 will be receiving a postgraduate qualification. At Rhodes University, student leaders not only serve the student body with dedication and zeal, but also excel in their academic pursuits, successfully completing their qualifications. Your commitment to both leadership and scholarship is truly commendable. A special acknowledgement also goes to all Rhodes University academic and support staff who are graduating this year. We thank you for the important work you do for this university and commend you for finding time to further your studies. Can you give them a round? As we celebrate the achievements of the class of 2025, let us take a moment to honor and remember our students who passed on during the course of their studies and whose graduation ceremony this would have been. Though they are not with us in person, they remain in our hearts, and we will cherish their memory always. During the 6 graduation ceremonies of autumn 2025, 2,063 students will be awarded their degrees, postgraduate diplomas, and postgraduate certificates. Of this, 1,317, that is 64%, will receive undergraduate bachelor's degrees, while 746, 36%, will be conferred postgraduate qualifications and awarded postgraduate diplomas and certificates. Among the 746 postgraduate recipients, 659 will be awarded postgraduate certificates, diplomas, and honors degrees. 57 will receive master's degrees, and 30 will be conferred doctoral degrees. In addition to the 6 graduation ceremonies we have now, an exclusive graduation ceremony for master's and doctoral graduates will be held in October. 68% of the graduating students are female, and 32% are male. Malibongwe. Igama lama Nkosikazi. Malibongwe. 8% of the students graduating today are international students. We extend our warmest and heartfelt congratulations to the 4 recipients of the university's highest honor, the honorary degree. They are Advocate Paul Pretorius, Professor Emeritus Kwesikwapra, Ms. Titi Dangaremba, and Mrs. Eugenia Bekeni. Their personal journeys, selfless sacrifices, unwavering conviction, and outstanding accomplishments in public life, various fields of human endeavor, distinguish them from others. They stand as a source of inspiration, worthy of admiration and emulation by us all. We also extend our heartfelt congratulations to all recipients of the Vice Chancellor's Distinguished Awards across various categories. Their outstanding contributions to the intellectual pursuit of our university are deeply valued, and we remain profoundly grateful for their dedication and excellence. Dear graduates, the moment the Chancellor places the academic cap on your head and declares, I confer the degree, or shakes your hand and says, I award the diploma or certificate, you should know that you officially become a graduate of this prestigious university, Rhodes University. Please remember, you will not be just any graduate, but you will become part of a legacy of excellence, a graduate of Rhodes University where leaders learn. This sets you apart from other graduates and bestows upon you a unique set of expectations, responsibilities, and obligations to your family, society, this country, and humanity at large. You are called upon to live a life of service, to lead with purpose, and to contribute meaningfully to the world around you. The world you are stepping into is becoming more and more uncertain, volatile, and complex. It is a world that needs leaders of courage, vision, and integrity. So wherever life takes you, strive to be the light that dispels the shadows of greed, corruption, hatred, selfishness, and division. Lead with compassion, uphold the values of honesty and justice, and use your knowledge to create meaningful change. The world does not only need skilled individuals like you, but also principled leaders with a strong moral compass. As you take your rightful place as a Rhodes University graduate, may you always embody the spirit and values of our motto, vis virtus veritas, strength, virtue, and truth. And may you always be guided by an unshakable commitment to integrity, honesty, empathy, human solidarity, and a steadfast commitment to service. Through your thoughtful acts of kindness and generosity, may you rekindle faith in the inherent goodness of humanity, and may you always be a source of encouragement, inspiring others to feel valued, hopeful, and confident in themselves, their lives, and their future. This morning, we proudly send you out as well-educated graduates of Rhodes University, equipped with the knowledge, skills, and competencies necessary to make a meaningful and positive impact on the world. Step forward with confidence, knowing that you possess the power to shape a better, brighter, and more just future. Honored guests, today we bid farewell to someone very dear to Rhodes University. The 2025 autumn graduation ceremonies mark the final set to be presided over by our much loved Chancellor, Justice Lex Mpati. Judge Mpati has dedicated 13 years to serving as Chancellor of Rhodes University, overseeing these ceremonies with unmatched grace and dignity. We extend our deepest gratitude to you, Ndate, for your exceptional service to our university, carried out with great honor and distinction. We also offer our heartfelt gratitude to your family for allowing us to benefit so much from you. Our warmest gratitude to Mpati. I don't know whether she's here, May. Who is here with us today. May has been a constant and cherished presence at our graduation ceremonies and other significant events over the years. Her unwavering support and dedication have greatly enriched our university community. As I conclude, again, I talk to you, dear graduates. After this ceremony, when you are reunited with your loved ones, take a moment to embrace them warmly and express your gratitude by saying, "Thank you for all that you have done for me." We wish you great success, happiness, and fulfillment in the years ahead. And to you, all we say is, Alf Mabruk. Mabruk, Mabruk. Many blessings and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Emeritus Professor Kwesi Kwa-Pra is a distinguished scholar, anthropologist and sociologist, and advocate for African development, who's made immense contributions to academia, social justice, and the advancement of African languages. His dedication to fostering African identity, education, and intellectual discourse has left a lasting impact on global scholarship. Kwesi, as he prefers to be known, was born in 1942 in Kumasi in Ghana. Following his school education there, he moved to the Netherlands, where he was educated at Leiden University and the University of Amsterdam before returning to Africa. His leadership was most prominently displayed as the founder and director of the Centre for Advanced Studies of African Society, or CASAS, in Cape Town, which became a hub for African intellectual thought and linguistic research, and which is now part of the University of Western Cape. Kwesi's held teaching and research positions across the world, including at Makhanda University, Uganda, University of Zambia, University of Botswana and Swaziland, University of Juba in Sudan, University of Namibia, National University of Lesotho, and the University of the Western Cape, among many others. I suspect this is some kind of a record in terms of attachment to different African universities. And it's not just African universities, he has also worked at universities in Europe and Asia, I think. He has served as a visiting fellow at Cambridge University's Centre for African Studies and contributed extensively to the development of African sociological and anthropological studies. Kwesi's a leading advocate for the use of African languages in education, governance and scientific development. His work emphasises the necessity of linguistic inclusivity in knowledge production, ensuring that African people can be educated in their native languages. His advocacy extends to Pan-Africanism, social justice and decolonial discourse, challenging historical narratives that marginalise African contributions to global civilisation. In 2014, Kwesi convened the 8th Pan-African Congress in Johannesburg. As the director of CASAS, Kwesi led pioneering research on African languages, proposing harmonisation and standardisation models to bridge linguistic diversity across the continent. In the 23 years that he was the director of CASAS, the Centre harmonised the orthographic conventions of 85% of the languages across the African continent, producing 9 dictionaries and glossaries. His leadership at various academic institutions and international advisory boards has shaped the discourse on African identity, education and governance. Kwesi is a prolific writer and public intellectual, having authored and edited more than 50 books, including African Languages for the Mass Education of Africans, Mother Tongue for Scientific and Technological Development in Africa, another one, The Challenge of Decolonising Education, and another one, The African Nation, the State of the Nation. In his CV, there's a section of papers and conference presentations. It had 333 items in that list. So I'll begin reading them. No, I won't. But just so you know, the output has been really quite remarkable. His academic writings and public addresses continue to influence African studies, sociolinguistics and development policy. Throughout his career, Kwesi's been deeply committed to mentorship and intellectual collaboration. His colleagues and students admire his unwavering dedication to African-centred knowledge production, his generosity in sharing insights, and his role as a transformative thinker in African social sciences. Not surprisingly, Kwesi has received a number of awards, and this is just a selection. These include Commander of the National Order of the Ivory Coast, which was presented to him by the President of Côte d'Ivoire, a C.L. Engelbrecht Book Award. He was also awarded the first Kwame Nkrumah Award for service to Pan-Africanism by the Thabo Mbeki African Leadership Institute. He has been awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of the Western Cape and another honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies. Nevertheless, it is very important that Rhodes University in particular honours him as well. As one of his nominators has written, quote, Rhodes University has been a champion of multilingualism over the last decade through the work of the NRF Saatchi Chair of Intellectualisation of African Languages, Multilingualism and Education, and is currently regarded as an intellectual hub on multilingualism through research that has societal impact, the training of high-quality postgraduates, collaborations with scholars from Africa and beyond. Prof. Pra, whose scholarship provides the bedrock of our curriculum, the bedrock of our curriculum, has been a great inspiration. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honour to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa on Emeritus Professor Kwesi Kwa Pra.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is a tremendous honor for me to be given the chance this year to be picked as one of the people deserving of this honor. I'd like to thank all the people who were involved in this situation, and I wanted to also congratulate the youngsters who have accomplished one of the important steps in their lives and in the life of the country. To acquire a degree is one of the passages a select few of the youth of the world get the chance to do. But it's only a step in the right direction, hopefully. And the right direction is not just what you've been taught as a profession or a skill, but also you must remember that one of the most important things is to be upright and to be honest with yourself and to all the people you come across. Do your work well, be honest with yourself, and be honest with your conscience. Number one. Number two, you must remember one thing. That is that in this world, you must be able to stay alive. But it is important to remember that your life alone is meaningless without the life of others. There is need to be honest to yourself and to all the people you deal with. That you don't drift into thievery, stealing, lying, because it will catch up with you and it doesn't help anybody. But as young people, it's important that you stand upright and the meaning of your life comes out of others. That's my advice to you. The larger advice is that we must do something about our heritage and our belongings. That we cannot, as Africans, make progress on the basis of a borrowed language or borrowed languages. We happen to be the only major people in the world. And remember that current estimates suggest that by 2050, Africans will form about a quarter of the whole of humanity. 3/4 of current-day Africans are youngsters, young people, reaching production and reproduction age soon. So, by leaps and bounds, our numbers are increasing. There are other people in the world who are also increasing. Chinese form about 1.4 billion people. Indians are slightly more than that, people of the Indian subcontinent. Europe is struggling behind, but it's steady. And with a little more unity, they should be able to grow even better. And so on and so forth. So the point is that the world is becoming increasingly incommodious. We all must be able to live together. But to do that, we must respect each other's heritage and language. Because language is the source of our memory. Language gives us continuity with our history. Language defines how we see the world. And language confirms our place in the world because it gives us continuity with the past. Language also helps us to advance. Language is the most important feature of culture. The term culture, scientifically, and I say scientifically because there's a vulgar use of the term culture to mean just dancing, exotic dancing, and dressing up fancy and that sort of thing. But that's only a small and unimportant part of culture. Culture is all that has been created by humanity, or human groups over centuries and over millennia. Because remember, culture is in fact, scientifically, culture is the definition of humanity, of human beings. Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens sapiens is a culture-producing animal, a talkative animal. That is us. And therefore, culture is needed by every human group. And culture's main pillar is language. Language stands at the center of culture. It is in language that we transact all our social relations. Now, language, of course, or rather in oral sense, comes from the beginning. Homo sapiens sapiens starts from about 70,000 years ago. So, language starts from then, and it defines a people in the way that it evolves. But another stage in the evolution of language is what we call writing. Because oral language cannot preserve easily what is collected, what is learned by previous generations. Oral speech generally doesn't last more than one lifetime. If you want to learn from oral speech, then each generation has to learn completely orally what the previous generation has done. And there are limits to what human beings can achieve that way. But writing, which is the next technologized linguistic stage, in the 70,000 years of Homo sapiens sapiens, language is only about 6,000 years written. First written forms of language were found in the Abydos, in Egypt. That's about 250 years before Mesopotamia. Now, writing increases the capacity for us to collect knowledge incrementally and pass knowledge on without the knowledge dying out with one generation or one lifetime. So writing is important. It's important. And then, of course, remember that in the beginning of writing, people were copying things. Every book had to be copied by hand. Copies, scribes, which you find in all civilizations. In the Chinese civilization, in the Indian Hindu civilization, in ancient Egypt, and so on. But it goes beyond that. We have reached a stage now where everything is digitalized, technologized completely. Now, the societies which move forward are those societies which are able to use their languages, because by using your language, you lift the largest percentage of the population. What we do in Africa currently, where people like me and most of you use a foreign language in which you have no power, in which you can't really create, in which you can't compete, is a falsehood. It's a falsehood. And it comes out of the colonial experience, not because of Europe and us, but colonial experience in the sense of every imperial power we've known in humanity, in history, in all parts of the world, have done the same thing. That is imposing their culture and their languages on the people. It is left for the people themselves. And I gave the example yesterday evening. I was sitting with the lady here who, as soon as she spoke, I could hear that she is Irish. So I asked her if she was Irish. She said yes. So I think she was a bit surprised how I picked it up so quickly. And then I was talking to her about the remarkable character of language development in her society. Because you see, the Irish suffered greatly under the English. Under the English, they butchered thousands of them, stamped on their language, destroyed their language. It's only from 1917, with people like De Valera, but the language started coming up again. I remember receiving a letter from a gentleman, a young man who grew up in South Africa too, a Britisher, Jobbins. And he was writing to me about 20 years ago to Cape Town and saying to me that he and a group of them in Wales, in England, are fighting to preserve their language, the Welsh language, because with the King James Bible and the effects of it, they stamped out the Welsh language. So it's not just our situation, which is like that. If you look around the world, look at the Andean states, the states in South America, for example, which have become completely Spanish-speaking. The poor people's languages have been stamped on. You see? So every time you have an imperial power conquering or ruling or dominating another, they impose the language as a way of expanding their power. We have to make the effort, a serious effort, because without our languages, we can't make progress. We can't develop. And we are the only major area now in the world where people use somebody else's language. People I knew, people in Asia, look at Asia. Look at our history in comparison with Asia. Only since the Second World War, since 1945, Indonesia used to be Dutch. Indonesia, 1,500 islands, the archipelago. It used to be Dutch. 1928, the youth of Indonesia, already when it was still a colony, said, we want to be free. And when we are free, Bahasa will be our language. True enough, 20 years later, when they declared freedom after the Second World War, 3 years after the Second World War, they started using Bahasa. Today, they are moving forward by leaps and bounds in Bahasa. When I was in Europe studying, I remember a friend of mine from Indonesia, Ernst Utrecht. He told me that lots of Indonesians were going on to Malaysia to teach Bahasa, because the Indonesians were more consolidated with Bahasa, but Bahasa is used also in Malaysia, you see. So Vietnam used to be a French colony in Indochina. Laos, Cambodia, French colonies. Today, they use their own languages. That is why they are making progress. The Arab world was freed from the Ottomans in 1917, redivided mainly between the English and the French. Today, there is nowhere in the Arab world where a government school or an institution backed by government money teaches in English or French or Turkish. They use Arabic. We Africans are the only people, and the academics talk about decolonization now. It's a popular term, decolonizing that. But they decolonize in English. And they carry on merrily, happily, talking about decolonization, and are happy to remember the experience of the Afrikaners with the English. Martinus Stein, he said to them at the Treaty of the Act of the Union that they were not going to join if their language is not given full rights as English. There's people who recognize the importance of language. What do we face? What problems do we face with the language question? Here in South Africa, already for 4 years, the government has a policy framework document saying that we must utilize African languages and make sure that it can be utilized to university level. 4 years. We've done nothing. We talk about it. They collect monies, academics also, and have conferences and talk about these problems, but nothing is done. Nothing is done about it. That is the sort of situation we are in. Now, please, as youngsters, do something about this. Because without our languages, and if we are not careful, if we carry on like this, then in another 50 years, by the time we are, even like 2050 when we will lose our languages. We will lose them because they will become so recessive, so underdeveloped that they will be useless. Let us do something about our languages and let us be please serious about it. That is the way to lift Africa up. Also, the dialectics of history are such that because of the way we were chopped up under colonialism, none of our languages as continuities stands within one single border. There are 54 countries on this continent. None of our languages stands completely in a border, contiguous with the configuration of the cultural groups in the country. You see, that is an advantage we have. We must turn that to our advantage. You look at Sutus, let me take Southern Africa, for example. Sutu speakers, Sutu-speaking people. And I don't make a difference between Sutu and Tswana, because it's one language, but variants of a language. You see, they start from Namibia, east of Gobabis, all the way to the border of Botswana. They are speaking one language. In Botswana, they form 80% of the population. They say they are a nation. And yet, the Sotho-Tswana people, there are more, 3-4 times more in South Africa than the nation. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They are in Zambia as Lozis in Barotseland. They are in South Africa. They are in Namibia. They are in Lesotho. The same you can say for the other big language group, the Nguni group that we have here. Now they start from Tanzania as Chingoni. They are in Zambia on the border areas with Malawi, Tumbuka in Malawi, Chingoni in Tanzania, Senga, and then in Swaziland, Swati, in Zimbabwe, as in the Ndebele here, Xhosa, Zulu. It's a huge linguistic group. As first language speakers, second language speakers, or third language speakers, they are bigger than any other linguistic group you would find in Europe. More than 50 million and upwards. There is no single reason on earth for our educated people and people in power and politics to still pretend that they don't recognize this. Now, that contradiction between the distribution on the ground, which testifies to their history on the ground, we have to be able to take advantage of that. In other words, the current states must open up possibilities, if we want to make progress, for cooperation to exist to such a level that educationally they can share the same material, because the work I did for 20 years plus in CASAS shows that you can write that Nguni group, for example, with one orthography, one spelling system, in which the various groups pronounce it slightly differently in their case. I was giving an example this morning to my name because I refuse to be called a professor, because everybody here is called a professor. Then my name is Kwesi. But Kwesi, listen carefully, Kwesi is a Fanti rendering of the name. Kwesi is a Fanti rendering of the name. A Twi or Ashanti rendering, Kwesi. Can you hear the difference? Say, Kwesi, Kwesi. A Ga or other rendering of the name would be Kwashi. You see? Ashanti or Akan rendering can still also be Akwesi. Now, 42% of the people live in Ivory Coast. I can't speak it. Another same, about 45% in Ghana. They don't even know that there are so many people in the two countries. The people themselves in the countries, if you go to Ghana today and you ask the people, do you know how many accounts are here? They wouldn't know. Do you know that next door there are 42%? They don't know. That is the situation we are in, and you can compound that every single country. The biggest case is a language which is spoken in 17 countries. 17 countries in Africa. It's called Pular. It's called Pula, Fula, Fulfulde, Tukle, Pul, Pular, Fulani, Thalata. One language. Then there's Hausa. It's spoken all the way from the Sudan to Nigeria and beyond. Now you can count these languages like that. So I think I'll have to be coming close to the end. Yeah.
Tinyiku Gurley Mkavele. Makoko Violet Mukawa. Uhone Melda Muluvetsi. Rudzani Gracious Muchetsi. Mutuhadini Julia Mutiva with distinction. Emmanuel Rendani Nmusimbori. Makhanda Gloria Pogole. Dr. Piki Mongwe. Mapula Margaret Ramachekrisa. Maite Yunus Rampula. Madibe Caroline Setumo with distinction. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Education, Foundation Phase Teaching on the following candidates. Tandile Bell. Tamara Coltman with distinction. Sean Alexander Dennis. Kate Tumetse Disipi. Akona Dode. Ntombovuyo Dwani. Lungalwa Dionashe. Jessie Judith Fraser with distinction. Marlies Grobelaar with distinction. Guguletu Klope. Atlokomile Asemakle James. Nombasa Javu with distinction. Rosaline Sarah Joseph. Nkumisa Landu. Mapule Mary Jane Leruele. Asipe Lindani. Zetu Lugadla. Lisa Kanya Mabomba. Nkriko Madikane. Notkolo Antoinette Makalima. Peliswa Makapela. Ntabeleng Moise Makubo. Kateku Fortune Maluleke. Tato Mamabolo. Orlando Manlamatela. Dineo Cleopatra Matlare. Masehu Precious Matlomancho. Sivuyisiwe Mazimba. Okuhle Nasipi Mundunyawa. Solomzi Mgidi. Kazimla Mgudlwa. Janine Erika Minar. Titile Mkavele. Nomamase Faith Mkoko. Bochwarelu Givness Mereki. Nkachisang Muagi. Hope Tshepo Mokocho with distinction. Memoria Gomolemo Monapula. Kutso Surprise Musia Medi with distinction. Tepu Promise Motlung. Kulekani Mponchane. Nkutazu Mtengwani. Asanda Mtakaza. Sanele Nkapai. Sinomhlobo Ndlela. Catherine Dimakatso Nimbilwi. Zamafuze Andiswa Nkobo. Nondumiso Ngwai. Zake Ngezi. Marilyn Ngubani. Sinazo Nyabu. Sianda Nkefemela. Kunjuzwa Gloria Nonchiani. Pusisiwe Megan Quinella with distinction. Pulani Lorraine Sebe. Kialalelo Patricia Senye. Abongile Shwayimba. Tando Sigwidi. Nkumisa Sinyono. Riabetswe Susan Siputle. Devon Size. Angelique Gabriela Stein with distinction. Tabisho Tlopile. Delisha van der Sant. Sophia Salome van Wyk. Kamvelichle Zana. Michaela Abigail Zimmerman. Nomotan Sanka Zondo. Sipusetu Zono. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Education, Senior Phase and Further Education and Training Teaching in Mathematics Teaching on the following candidates. Lumka Hlanganiso. Godwin Kankam. Cordelia Mgaga Jijani. Luvuyo Mkribisa. Nombulelo Cynthia Dwalaza Mbucho. Mkediwe Mkusani. Kolisa Khubushe. Ngumisa Tokwe. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to award the Postgraduate Certificate in Education, Senior Phase and Further Education and Training Teaching to the following candidates. Erin Robert Adrian with distinction. Atkolile Bilibana. Andisiwe Bodo. Tobela Busani. Nolu Chwayitu Cornelius. Kate Dauport with distinction. Otwa Dunga. Karen Kayla Felix. Zimi Fukwene. Reggie Goba. Shwayita Gula. Zikaya Botelwa. Sipeleliso Hlabisa. Alizwa Jezi. Alec Jira Charyonko with distinction. Amfarisau Precious Komola. Sbongile Koliti. Luzukisu Kom. Siabonga Sibabarwa Junior Kum. Siolise Mabodla. Luntukazi Macheba. Rabutata. Zubinati Sanga. Isabelle Shumayele. Zukisani Christian Seguinta. Yonela Lynette Sihoyiya. Simamkele Simelela. Esetu Situpa. Welodine Swartboy. Redi Tsatsani. Aviwe Tutu. And Nomvuyiseku Sayo. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to award the postgraduate diploma in sustainability learning to the following candidates. Nicola Green with distinction. Bongiwe Hobololo with distinction. Sonika Lund with distinction. Esther Gogo Mpanda. Bongo Mkukuze. Kuliso Millicent Mutivi with distinction. Natunati Ntandu Mvunge. Rudolf Leon van Niekerk with distinction. Non-Kanyiso Queen Vokwana Kaba. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to award the degree of Master of Education on the following candidates. In Mathematics Education, Marissa Louisa Kum with distinction. Sianda Mabutu Dominic Mangele in Education. Chikondi Sepula in Information Communication Technology Education. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education on the following candidates. Lyndall Elizabeth Kim Stolz. For nearly a decade, Lyndall Kim Stolz has served as an academic at the University of Technology, witnessing firsthand the contradictions and transformations within South African higher education. Drawing upon social realism and decolonial studies, Her research examines the evolution of admission processes over the past 30 years, uncovering how entrenched structures and cultures have perpetuated the status quo of colonial legacies, thereby restricting the possibilities of the so desired equity in higher education. Congratulations. Rita Knutze. A university education has the potential to nurture creativity and criticality. This study explored the kinds of knowledge and ways of knowing that are valued in English literary studies at a distance learning institution. It found that various institutional structures limited student flourishing, specifically quality assurance monitoring, short-term teaching contracts, massive classes with little opportunity for immersive engagement with texts. The study reminds us that higher education cannot be a space for cultivating minds and exploring the transformative potential of knowledge unless it is explicitly constructed to these ends. Alfred Kumbulani Mapfumo. The grade 12 science topics of work, energy, and power are challenging for learners and teachers alike, possibly because energy and power both translate to amandla in isiXhosa. This formative interventionist study focused on how a professional learning community of 5 science teachers and Mapfumo co-developed and enacted exemplar lessons using pedagogical translanguaging and transknowledging in this topic. Guided by Vygotsky's social-cultural theory and Mavungo and Rolnick's topic-specific pedagogical content knowledge framework, the professional learning community incorporated code switching, translation, and terminology adaptation, developing an isiXhosa glossary. The study highlights how professional learning communities foster teachers' transformative agency. It recommends capacity building to enhance epistemological access for second language teachers. Taryn Lee Pereira Kaplan. Small-scale fishers are amongst those most marginalized in ocean governance. Through 4 years of co-engaged research in a coastal justice network, Taryn's research shows how small-scale fishers, working with scholar activists, can make important contributions to ocean governance in South Africa, thereby advancing blue justice. The study reflects deeply on the role of scholar activists working in solidarity with small-scale fishers. Overall, it provides new guidance for transdisciplinary researchers interested in aligning their research praxis with social movements working in counter-hegemonic ways for environmental justice. Ben Souza. Inclusivity remains a major challenge for education systems in Southern Africa. In this thesis, using social-cultural approaches to learning and research, Ben investigated how to mainstream inclusivity into teacher education programs in 3 countries, Malawi, Eswatini, and Tanzania. The focus of the research was on how Education for Sustainable Development change projects could enable greater inclusivity. Through in-depth analysis of the cases, Ben's research surfaces process and practice indicators for mainstreaming inclusivity through pedagogical proficiency in teacher education programs, thereby offering tools for policy and practice. Mapefo Doreen Twala. Where many South Africans lack reliable access to water and freshwater quality is deteriorating, this study used an activity systems lens to explore what the Department of Water and Sanitation and other organizations learned about water management in the past 10 years. It transpired that whilst the Post-Apartheid Water Act of 1998 was a radical policy shift away from water for the privileged few, in implementation, the approach to placing and resourcing staff and their learning platforms failed to match the complex transformational object of some for all, forever. Janet West. This study focused on the challenges facing accounting education, asking what can higher education do to prepare students for an uncertain future. It argues that access to powerful knowledge is essential for enabling lifelong learning and adaptability. Exploring the knowledge being curriculated in an accounting diploma and how lecturers teach it, the study identified pedagogical approaches that are likely to provide students with this access. The findings can help accounting lecturers and those in similar disciplines reconsider their pedagogical practices related to teaching the target knowledge of their discipline.
presenting to you Professor Luzanne Laura Olvit, a senior lecturer of the Department of Secondary and Post-School Education in the Faculty of Education, for the Vice Chancellor's Distinguished Award for teaching in the category of more than 10 years of experience. The Vice Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Award is made annually to individuals with more than 10 years experience who have demonstrated to a panel of peers that their work as academic teachers is truly distinguished and inspirational. The award is intended to recognize and celebrate excellence, innovation, and commitment in and to teaching. Today, I'm honored to present Professor Luzanne Laura Olvit for the 2024 Distinguished Teaching Award in recognition of her exceptional contribution to teaching and learning at Rhodes University over the past 20 years. Professor Olvit is an associate professor in the Environmental Learning Research Center within the Department of Secondary and Post-School Education. Her higher education journey began in 1994 when she earned a Bachelor of Arts degree majoring in English, Fine Art, and History of Art from the University of Natal, Pietermaritzburg, after matriculating from Durban Girls High School in KwaZulu-Natal. She continued her studies at the University of Natal, earning a higher diploma in education in 1995, which laid a foundation for her academic career. Initially, Luzanne saw teaching as a second option after qualifying as a high school teacher, but she soon discovered a deep passion for it. In 2000, while teaching, she completed a short course in environmental education at Rhodes University, which sparked a new direction in her career. She left teaching to join the NGO sector, working at the Wildlife and Environmental Society of South Africa, where her interest in environmental education deepened. Determined to grow in the field, she pursued a Master of Education in Environmental Education at Rhodes University, graduating in 2004, and her commitment led her to complete a Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Education in 2012, marking the beginning of her impactful academic journey at Rhodes University. Since joining Rhodes University, Luzanne has designed, coordinated, and taught several programs, including short courses in environmental education, the Advanced Certificate in Environmental Education, the Bachelor of Education Honors, and postgraduate degrees in education at the master's and PhD levels. Most recently, she collaborated with Dr. Jessica Coburn from the Department of Environmental Science to design the groundbreaking postgraduate diploma in sustainability learning, the first qualification of its kind in Africa. This interdisciplinary program enables students from diverse fields to specialize in change-oriented education for a more sustainable future. Notably, the first cohort of students in this postgraduate diploma has graduated in this ceremony, where Professor Olvit is being honored with this award. Luzanne's teaching practice reflects a rare blend of intellectual rigor, deep compassion. She has emerged as a pioneering educator whose influence extends far beyond her discipline. She has also been instrumental in the recurriculation of the B.Ed Honors Program. Prof. Olvit's teaching philosophy is deeply responsive to contemporary challenges, equipping students with the critical thinking and care needed to navigate an ever-changing world. In a world grappling with a deepening socio-ecological crisis and urgent calls for decolonization in higher education, Professor Olvid constantly reflects on these fundamental questions. I quote, "How do my students need to think? What should they be thinking about? And what must they be able to do if we are to have any real change of building sustainable futures?" Close quote. These questions are at the heart of everything she does. They shape the way she designs curricula, teaching methods, and the way she assesses learning. Her students consistently describe her teaching as clear, engaging, and accessible. They speak of her open, gentle manner of teaching, her quiet confidence, and how she brings a clear, calm, and almost relaxing presence to the learning environment. Luzanne's colleagues, too, recognize her exceptional ability to meet students where they are, whether they are academically unprepared or eager to push disciplinary boundaries. She teaches each student with the same level of care, insight, and encouragement, regardless of their background. As one colleague beautifully put it, I quote, "She teaches with the ear and from the heart," close quote. Her approach is a rare balance of deep empathy and high academic standards. She works within the realities of institutional structures, but never loses sight of each student as a unique, thinking, and feeling individual human being. What truly sets Prof. Olvid apart is her ability to see where students struggle and offer the right kind of support. She does not just teach, she facilitates and guides learning. She patiently helps students navigate complex learning materials, scaffolding their learning in ways that build both confidence and independence. She encourages them to not just absorb knowledge, but to lead their intellectual journeys. Her teaching is not just about theory, it is about transformation. It blends theoretical depth with practical application, connecting philosophical concepts with the socio-political and economic realities her students face, and encouraging critical engagement with complex societal issues. Prof. Olvid's work has been particularly notable for centering African philosophical perspectives and refreshing traditional curricula with scholarship that resonates with students' living experiences. As one student remarked, I quote, "Being given the opportunity to study African philosophers is what I appreciate the most. It was refreshing to study African philosophers and hear what they write about Africa and its people," close quote. In recognizing Luzanne with this distinguished award, we celebrate an educator whose teaching transcends the classroom, building understanding, relationships, dignity, and agency for the common good. Her work exemplifies the transformative power and potential of higher education and embodies Rhodes University's commitment to excellence in teaching and learning. Mr. Chancellor, I could continue to draw on the words of Prof. Olvid's peers and students to attest to her sterling work as a teacher and a worthy recipient of this award, but time does not permit. May I therefore request you to award the 2024 Vice-Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Award to Professor Luzanne Laura Olvid.
I also confer degrees and award diplomas to those candidates named in the program who are in absentia. Please rise for the national anthem. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I dissolve this congregation of Rhodes University.